Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Now, today's video is going to be a little bit of an update due to the fact that the SP reset is in the game. And a lot of players were telling me they don't know how to do it. Now, I have messed with it a little bit. I know how to do it. I could do it at any time. So I am going to go through it. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to ask you for the standard. Please leave a like or comment on my video. Consider subscribing to my channel. And if you dislike the content, please leave a comment. Now, one more thing to note with this whole update that I'm about to give is I'm also going to bring attention to one more thing within the game. Some of the mistakes that I have made. Level 3 fittings are available to purchase. That is the blueprints for the level 3 fittings. They can't be crafted or used until T8. Now, I don't think that was a very fair thing for them to do. The fact that you can fight those enemies who have those blueprints at their disposal says that you should be able to acquire it in game. Now, the fact that you can't means that even though I have a ton of them, I actually purchased a lot in the week last week, and I was about to go and start manufacturing them when I noticed it told me T8 on my manufacturing. And that is where it stopped for me on the level 3 fittings. Now, before I get into the SP exactly, let me just explain one thing. If you have SP and you decide you want to swap up what you are using, it's very simple. You can just go out, farm enough ISK for a few days, hold on to a few hundred ISK, and then you are ready to go for it. Now, let's get into exactly where the refresh is. Now, it's called refresh, right? So, here's the button on the bottom left hand corner. I'm opening it up, and here we go. Now, anything that I want to reset, I can start clicking. However, it only starts charging me after 500,000 ISK is gathered. Not ISK, 500,000 SP is gathered. So first I'm going to go frigate command. There's it added to the queue. Destroyer. Right, I don't want cruiser. Battle command, no. Advanced afterburner. Micro warp drive operation, yeah, I'm going to take that out. Engine. As you can see, that was my first. That's cruising technology. I just want my cruiser command to remain in there. Now there is something missing here. I don't know why it didn't show up. Okay, shield operation advanced, shield hardening advanced. I'm not going to touch either one of those. I actually need them. Remote shield operation, I'm not using support. Armor operation, armor hardening, frigate defense, destroyer defense. All of that will go straight in. I can use those. Let's go electronic warfare, frigate engineering, destroyer engineering, cruiser, battle cruiser, I'm leaving that around. Electronic warfare, I'm not going to touch. Target management, I'm not going to touch. Weapon technology. Now, I have done a lot of others. So, there you go. Small railgun, cannon. Torpedoes is something that I use. But I'm going to throw in the smalls anyway. Small drone upgrade. Yeah, I'm going to take that out. Small drone operation. I'm taking that out as well. Small decomposer command as well. Now, if you look at it, it's costing me 1 plex for every 5,000 SP reset and a total of 111. Now, let me go through the frigate engineering, manufacturing, mining, ore processing, uncommon ore. Trade, I'm going to leave it all. Planetary, I'm going to leave it as well. So, there we go. Industry technology, everything is in here. 141 plex for 700 ISK. Now, if I reset the skill points, once I reset it, I can spend it on something else. And let me show you exactly where I would have spent it. I would have went straight into my missile medium upgrades. And I would have spent it right here on the final level. Let me just show you exactly what that cost. 1.8 million. That will make it 1.1 million left to go, and that will just be several weeks to wait, and I'll have advanced medium missile torpedo damage increased. Everything will be at the maximum, and as you can see what the totals will look like: 5% flight time, 3% velocity, 2% extra activation time. And that's as quick as it will go for me if I wanted to do it. If I wanted it to be even better, I could grab all of my technology, reset all of it, and start pumping it into one aspect or the other. Now, some things can't be reset from what I can see over here. That's because it's most probably those chips that we received. You can't touch those research objects, so that's going to be a major blunder in your plan. Let's just have a look at this. I think I'm still far behind. Yeah, I'm 1,300 hours away. So I still have a long way to go to T8. As a result of this, I'm not going to be able to fight as well as other players. It is going to put me down a little bit in terms of time. If I'm correct, that puts me out to just about 6 weeks to no seven, about 8 weeks till I reach T8. The free SP that we're receiving daily is definitely helping, and hopefully by the end of all of this, things will be going better. Now let's talk about that SP reset. As you saw, I can only do 700 and 700 and something thousand SP at a go. Now, what does this mean for the terms of other players in the game? If you an SP reset, these are the other options you have. Removing advanced and stuff from other research that you've already purchased and have opened up isn't really that bad of a thing to do. Now, let's say for example, I wanted to build up my Gila to run a solid amount of missions. I am going to take all of that research and I am going to pump it into my drone research on the drone research tab. I'm even going to undo my battle cruiser research just for this purpose. Now, what is that going to do for me? It's going to give me a powerful Gila. Now, a Gila is once more a drone boat with missiles. So it's both a missile and drone operating unit. And once more, that would be a good one to pump it into. If I wanted to go with the Phantasm, I'll unlearn all of my missile technology and pump it all into my laser technology. Now, the catch is that you do have certain skills that aren't resetting, that aren't going to allow you to extract the SP. Now, that is going to mean that in the overall process, you're going to have a ton of SP being put into other aspects of the game, while the basics are going to be spread out quite far. Now, I thought they would allow you to completely reset any skill. I still have the two chips coming out, so I most probably would have about 800 SP to reallocate if I ever wanted to. But I am not going to be reallocating anything anytime soon. The reason is quite simple. Reallocating the SP will definitely give me an edge in terms of overall gameplay, but reallocating the SP isn't vital for my particular type of gameplay. I prefer playing the missions over going out and doing PvP. Now, there is a lot of ways to make ISK quickly, and one of the things that I did say is farming in nullsec, that's your Inquisitors, Scouts, and Deadspace. Now, you can force a spawn of Inquisitors and Scouts in a sector. All you've got to do is farm up a region hard enough for a few days, and after a while, let's say for example you were in a base which was T6. After a while, those T6 bases are now going to start leveling up. And as they start to level up, you have a chance of spawning a dead space. Now, that is the one way in which you can force spawn dead spaces. Now, moving from a T6, that means you're going to get a T5, not a T5, you're going to get a T7 dead space when it enters into the sector. So that is the chance that you have for getting a T7 dead space. The other way in which you can do it is you can farm everything in the same level as your base, and as you keep hitting everything around that base and keep reducing it, all you've got to do is when you have taken out everything and you get everything small, you warp into range of the base and you warp out. Now, the only reason why you're warping in range of the base and warping out is you want the base to be triggered to move out the enemies. Now, it doesn't really affect the spawn all that much, but it for some reason generates more large encounters. So your mediums and your large will start going up in number, and when you have a lot of large, like 3 large in a row, that is when you have a chance for a scout or an inquisitor to spawn. And once they start spawning, it's going to continuously go until the base levels up. Once the base levels up, you're going to have to farm at the same level again till you get those 3 or 4 in a row of the large, and hopefully the scouts start spawning. Now, every time you defeat the scout after spawning it in this way, you're going to wait about 4 encounters after, and then another scout or an inquisitor will spawn. Now, scouts and inquisitors are way easier than Deadspace. Don't think that if you can solo a scout or inquisitor at T7 means you can solo a T7 Deadspace. A T6 Deadspace, I would say, is equal to a T10 encounter. Not T10 encounter, a T10 small battle. That's how difficult I'd rate the Deadspace. Now, a T10 small is doable, even though those battleships are really tough. They can't hit your ship. But the catch with the Deadspace is, remember, they're almost as good on research as you are. So you have to expect the unexpected from their cruisers and their battleships, which is where you're getting those faction ships from and where you're getting the plans from. So when you defeat these ships, they have a chance of dropping those blueprints. Now that's exactly how blueprint drops for Deadspace. Now, just thinking about it overall, if you are going to go for this method of farming, on your first 2 or 3 days, because it takes that long to force the spawn to start, it's going to only make you something like 30 million ISK. Now, you have to be in a region that isn't very well traveled, because if it's a well traveled area, someone else is just going to come in and destroy your base if they see what you are doing. I've seen it happen in Nullsec every single time. Every single time I raise up a base to give me 4 larges and someone warps into the sector, they'll be in the sector for about half an hour and then the base is gone. That's because they purely don't want people to farm this. It's a method of keeping the market high, because once you have this opportunity, those level 7 and level 6 Deadspace drop C-type equipment. So if you are picking up enough C-type equipment, that means you have a nice heavy load to go with to the market. If, say for example, you pick up 15 cannons. 15 cannons are 7 million a piece. You gaining almost 100 million just off those cannons, and that's where they're getting a bit salty, because you are making that money quite quickly. 100 million ISK for quick easy missions that you could solo. Now if you continue playing in that region, let's say for example a missile region where you know you're going to get rapids, then there is a chance of you actually pulling out rapid missiles at the C type. You can keep it for yourself or you can sell it. That's billions just pulling off a few from that region. And that's why when you're spawning in those regions and you force farming them that quickly, it's going to mean that your ISK reward just rivets up. And it's about 10 million per kill on the bigger vessels in those fights. So 10 million in T7 is quite a good function. Wait, no, sorry, I'm wrong. That's T8 Inquisitors. It's about 10 million for killing the battle cruisers. Sorry, not battle cruisers, the battleships. And they give you a nice good set of drops as well. So you're going to get elite large gear, which you can keep for your T8 encounters. As I said, it's about 8 weeks away for me. For other players, it's about 4 weeks away. All depends on how you are playing the game thus far. So that's going to be about it on this video. This is just a short video to throw in for the day. It's an update on a little thing. There are 3 ship builds which I'm going to do today, hopefully. Let's hope that I get into them. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.